Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Nail the Sale podcast. Today, we have our brand new guest with us. His name is Liam Shaw. Without wasting any of your time, let's get right into it. All right. So now, as I introduced earlier in the conversation, that we spoke with a lot of other sales reps, and I had like some seven-figure coaches, some business owners, and a lot of people. Today, the person I have is Liam. He's going to tell you who he is, but before that, I want to tell you like why he's on the podcast today. He's on the podcast because we are in a paid community, and I've been checking his podcast where he had some big dogs on the podcast show, and I was like, I mean, how he's doing it, right? Me, I love having people on and sharing value. I haven't uploaded a lot of episodes where I feel like there was a less amount of value, right? I'm hoping the best from this one, and I know it's going to be a banger. Hey, Liam, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself, introduce who you are, what you do, and what's going on in your life?
Yeah, first off, I appreciate the intro, man. Yeah, a little bit about me. I'm Liam, Canadian fella, but found my way over
Okay.
to New Zealand a while ago and started my sales career on the opposite side of the world, living in the future.
Yeah, yeah,
Right? So we're
that's
at
right.
we're a day ahead. It's Friday over here,
Okay,
which is
yeah.
good. The future's bright, my friend. Future's bright.
That's right.
But yeah, look, I came from a background where I've been in sales the last 6.5 years. I started my journey door to door. I did nearly
Same.
5 years of door to door fundraising, door to door lead generation, and built up quite a bit of time there and eventually got to the point where I realized that I was playing checkers in a game that I could be playing chess.
Okay. Okay.
And I was like, there has to be a way that I don't have to travel
Yeah.
for work.
Yeah. 1 hour of drive going, 1 hour of coming back, and feeling like, whoa, what the hell am I doing with my life right now?
I calculated out, man. I was spending on average 15 hours a week driving, minimum.
Man, I remember those days. Plus, when you are door to door, you are driving, you are walking, you're traveling all the time, right?
Yeah, all the time. And you're just like, look, it kept me in good shape, which I'm very thankful for. But when you're away from your family for 4 months a year, because we do road trips every month,
Yeah.
it it got to a point where I had to decide like I knew there was a smarter way to be able to still make money, still be able to talk to people, but not have to leave my family and abandon it.
Mm.
Especially now, me and my wife, we have a daughter. I wanted to be a very present father.
Yeah,
Um,
that's right.
and I knew deep in my soul I needed to figure it out. So I went on a bit of a hunt, to be honest. It was
Mm.
a bit of a hunt
Yeah,
and came down the rabbit hole of what high ticket closing was. And I was like, this is super interesting. This is
absolutely.
very not what I was expecting. I didn't even realize it existed prior. And that was about 2 years ago,
Mm.
man. And well, it's been a journey ever since.
Yeah, when I realized what high ticket is, first of all, I thought I would have to sell some tickets of airplane. That's what it is, like high and ticket. I don't know. Like I was just assuming. Then Downlock was talking about it, and then some other people were talking about it, and I was like, what the hell am I doing in this office in a call center selling ADT home security alarm system for US companies? Of course, that was a leverage for me for sure because I'm not from US, never been to US.
Sure.
I'm from outside. I'm based in Pakistan right now, and I never went to US ever. And I was making good money, but at the same time, working for other people, yeah, like you don't have a job security, you don't have a control on your time, and that was killing, right? So I can totally relate with you on that.
Yeah, look, and it was. it was a big change. Like I realized when I started to look into it, Cole Gordon was the fella that I found, and went down the whole RCA route and
Yeah.
learned some really good stuff. And it really came down though to, and what I had seen was the people that were making it were just doing it.
Hmm.
Like they weren't just talking about it. There was a whole lot of talk in the space at that time a few years ago of people
Yeah.
like wanting to get into the space, but they thought they had to do all these like steps needed to accomplish before they could start. And I was
Yeah.
just like, no, I don't conform to that. I'm just gonna go and do it. And
Yeah.
I outreached and I think I landed my first high ticket offer in the span of like a week, maybe a week and a half of doing outbound
Awesome.
outreach.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, that's something I really want to know as well, because what I realize is I thought so you are very good with outreach. So let's start with the big one. How do you build like these real relationships with high profile people without like coming off as, yeah, just another person asking for something?
Yeah, the first one is people like to feel important, right? People love to feel important and love to feel needed. Okay? It's it's huge. You want to influence someone, asking them for something, okay? If it can be small and it's easy and it's something that they enjoy doing, will build
Yeah.
more trust and more relationship than
Hmm.
giving them something,
Yeah,
right?
man. Yeah,
And
that totally makes sense. But I want to ask, like, what's your go-to approach for turning like a quick introduction into a like a long-term valuable connection? You know what I mean?
the thing is, it's there's a lot of bullshit in the world. There's a
A lot
lot of
of.
bullshit in our industry.
Yeah, a lot of.
And there's very little genuine people who have genuine personalities and have genuine connections.
Makes
So,
sense.
for instance, like I'll tell you how I reached out to Matt Ryder, who's by far one of the
Yeah,
biggest people in the
yeah,
industry that we
yeah,
work with, right?
yeah.
The first couple of times over the course of like 6 months, I just dropped him a voice note that asked a good question to his Facebook, right?
Mm,
And it went two or three, no responses. Eventually, he opened up. He's like, "Hey, mate, just checking these out. These are actually good questions," and he answered all of them. Like
okay.
he threw me
Yeah,
back like three, four voicemails because he's
yeah,
like, "Hey, you don't sound like a retard, my
yeah, yeah,
language,
yeah,
but you're actually asking something intelligent. Like, yeah, here." And then he's like, "Go check this out." And I voice noted back and forth with him, just asking him questions that I knew he would specifically be able to answer, but
mm,
weren't just stupid questions that I could Google in 30 seconds. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. That's right. That's right.
And then it
I
came
told.
down to,
Go ahead.
sorry to cut you off there. Well, and
No,
then
no,
it
no.
came down to like I was launching the podcast and I positioned it into a way where it made sense. I was like, look, I'm launching something here where I know that I'm gonna be able to reach and get to give value to people. I'd love you to
Mhm.
be guest number one,
Yeah,
right? I want you
yeah.
to be the first thing. And now in their own brand, after he's already given, now I'm giving
Mm,
him something, but he's also giving back his time.
hmm.
And it's funny how well that goes in terms of building a relationship compared to just, hey Matt, I wanted to connect and just see how you're getting on.
Yeah, just stop
Yeah.
by to say hi. Yeah, I know. Like it could be like that an initial thing. Yeah. If you are like in a same community or something like that, that's okay. But I mean, if like you're speaking with that C-suite, kind of guy, and now
Mhm.
you're just sending like random messages, that's weird. Yeah.
And then the best thing to do, man, is get introductions, get referrals. Okay. And networking referrals. 90% of my podcast guests have been referred to me by a
Hmm.
podcast guest,
Okay. Yeah,
right? Where
that's
they
that's great.
personally made the introduction. And that has also been the case for basically every sales job I've had in the high ticket space as well.
I mean that's how it works. That's the cheat code of the industry, right? Like everyone talks about networking, but literally like few people they actually do it well, right? What do you think? Like, what's one common mistake people make when trying to build like a strong network? Because I know that like on your own podcast, t tell him the name of your podcast first of all.
Yeah, so it's the Closing Authority podcast.
Closing
Go
Authority
check it out. Let me know
podcast.
your thoughts.
Must
Yeah,
watch. It's a
Closing
must watch.
Authority.
A lot of big dogs are the guest in that one. It's even better than mine, and I'm saying this on my own podcast because I watch that too. I'm a fan.
Oh,
So yeah,
I appreciate it, man.
yeah, man, for sure. But so I really want to like ask you, like, what do you think? Like, what's the common mistake people make when they're trying to build like a strong network?
They're not real. Like the people
Mm.
are not genuine and not real.
Yeah,
Look, I've had calls where people jump on and be like, yeah, man, like just connecting, just wanted to touch base.
yeah,
Like everything's all good, everything's happy. And I'm like, okay, like I guess. Like I've had other people jump on and be like, man, honestly, I'm 2 weeks into the industry. I don't know anyone, and I want
yeah,
to pick your brain so I can get as best as possible. And I'm like,
yeah.
oh shit. Now this sounds like
Mm.
a fun conversation,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
And also being able to talk about yourself and ask skilled questions. Like, you don't want to be having a conversation with someone and them realize that you haven't even done 30 seconds of research, right? You should be able to pull up topics about that person. If you're going to have a genuine networking call, figure out about the person, do a little bit of research. What have they actually done? What have they accomplished? What are they into? Even it can just be their simple, most recent Facebook post. Be like, man, I saw you posted this. Like, well, I'd like to get your thoughts in person on that. And if they
absolutely, man.
posted it, it's important to them, you know?
Yeah, yeah. That 100% makes sense. Make sense actually. And I was wondering, like a lot of people, they what they really do is they just build network and make money. Do you know any of them? They just have like that's where their business is. They're connectors, right? That's
Yeah,
how they monetize. Have you ever made any referral money online?
I have. I
Okay.
have.
Yeah.
I've done it with like it's not even on purpose, to be honest. It's just like getting connected. It's like full transparency. Now I don't just close, right? I manage a few sales teams. I'm a sales coach myself, and I like to connect the right people to who they need to be in contact with. It's on my IG. Message
Yeah.
me to get connected with whatever you need to do. Um,
Yeah, man.
but it just simply started by like having people come around and be like, who can I refer you to? Like, who's actually going to help you and who can you be helped by? And just
Yeah.
playing matchmaker, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a big believer in like, and this to get a little woo-ha for you, but like, I'm a big believer in like energy and good vibes go out there in the world. Like, when you put good into the world, good will come back to you, right?
Yeah, that's
And
right.
it's not necessarily making it transactional day one, but it's like if you're genuinely helping, like
Mm.
I think of a a guy that is super new in the space. He's just starting to crush it. Anton, he saw in a group like I don't know, maybe let's call it 8 months ago. I was looking for something, and he just
Okay.
quickly made a connection between me and someone else, and it didn't even pan out. But now
Yeah.
he's on my radar 8 months later because he
Yeah.
made a quick connection and he tried to help.
That's right. That's right. I mean, there were a lot of people who were newbie, came in and were trying to like sneak into the messages, right? And at that time, I was like, okay, yeah, he's just like another sales guy who's just trying to get something out of it, right? But like after a couple of
Mm.
months, they actually cracked the code and they they're actually now on the top of their games. So what I think the same. If you're like if your connection is actually real, you're actually trying to help, and you're just like a Facebook friend, let's say. You know what I mean, Liam? Liam, if you and me, we are
Mm.
just friends, we are having conversations. You know, I'm in sales. You know, you're in sales. You know, we sell those high ticket offers, and it ranges between like $5,000 to $50,000 sales. You know what I mean? And in between
Yeah.
somewhere, like you feel like I think I need some help, and Numan can help me actually. You asked me, right? And I don't have like anything in my mind that okay, now the time, now that's the time to monetize this guy, right? It's not like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you have like you are starting your own podcast, you're scaling your podcast, you don't know anybody who can help you with, right? You're speaking with me, we are randomly chatting, and I know like a couple of people who can write the scripts and do the copies and edit videos and post for you and do everything, right? And if I like make a connection, and if I make some
Mhm.
referral and make some money, that's not bad at all, right? Not from you, of course, from the other party, because we are just friends. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
something I totally believe
Well,
in as well. It's all about like how, as you said, like if you do good, put good in the word, good will come to you, right?
well, and let's put it this way, right? Like on my podcast, I have interviewed a bunch of different sales trainers, a bunch of different business managers. I
Hmm.
am both of those things. I am a sales coach. I also manage businesses. And some people called me crazy when I started the podcast. They're like, why would you have your competition on and give them a platform? I'm like, because I'm a big believer in winning for the person, right? Like actually putting the person first. And if I think someone is better and needs to have specific like fitness training for coaching, for sales coaching, I'm going to send them over to Jumid, right? If someone needs to start up and they're looking to be a setter and they want to
Mm.
just dial and go hard, I'm going to send them over to June. If someone's
Yeah,
looking to upskill or get into sales,
yeah.
I'm going to come to myself and I'm going to recommend based off of the person, not just trying to get a short dollar because
Hmm.
long term, that's not how the world wins. If you want to be in this game, not for today and tomorrow, but like be here for the long game, which I am,
Yeah.
it's about how can I actually make this individual person have the best experience,
Hmm.
and it's going to come around. That's what I
Yeah.
personally believe anyway. I'm a big believer
That's
in that.
great. That's actually like, again, it's come to like, again, how genuine you are, because if you like talk about myself, I've been in sales from like since 2009. I was a kid when I started hitting the phones, right? And learning and adopting the
Yeah.
US based accent and working with these people in a different culture, and working on these very high ticket offers, right? Closing 5K, close 50K deals too. You know what I mean? How it feels
Mhm.
like, how it looks like for somebody who came from like a very broke background. And that's something like it's all about. I have like a lot of friends. I also refer business owners to Joel. I also refer people to JD. I also refer people to anybody who needs that, right? I haven't referred anybody to JD yet, by the way, but I'm just giving an example. If I would have any, I will refer to him. I'll refer to you as well, of course. Right now, we are talking about it, and that's actually putting the good word in the world. And of course, it always monetize when you don't even like wonder it will. It will monetize. But when you don't even know, like God knows that. And let's put it that way. Whatever is written for you, you're gonna get it. That's all about the energy and all that you were talking about.
100%. Like, you know, is a big changing thing for me is coming back to my faith with God. It was huge because I'll be honest, I haven't always been this way. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, okay.
there was definitely times where I was more self-centered. And I think
Hmm.
everyone goes through a patch of time like that, at least from what I've seen. And I went through it. And I don't claim to be perfect, like I'm this perfect guy who's always been giving, giving,
Hmm.
giving, right? But I think it's because I went through those times and to be honest, was able to reconnect with God at the end of last year that it kind of reopened my perspective to you need to start playing the long term game. If you want to succeed, you need to play a longer term game. and you need to be able to give without expecting. And man, when that implementation came into my life again, it changed everything. Like it genuinely did. My relationships improved, my connections started happening way faster. Um, my income massively jumped up,
Hmm.
and it wasn't that I was doing anything different, but my intention behind it completely shifted.
Was that because of you are connected more with God, or what specifically changed, or what changes have you made? You said like you started like believing again, right? You came back to the
Mm.
belief system. Does that mean
Yeah,
like,
look,
yeah?
yeah, so I'd never like not believed. I've been a Christian my whole life.
Yeah,
Uh,
but like a little bit of non-practicing sometime, like just
yeah,
casual guy. Yeah, yeah, the
how I usually
modern
say it is
dude.
like I do the big stuff, I wouldn't do the little stuff, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I got it. I got it.
And I'm nowhere near perfect. I'm still trying to, like, no one is, right? Just try
No
to
one
be a
is
better
perfect, of
person each
course.
day.
I mean, why I'm asking this question because that's related to me as well, right? I'm also
Yeah.
like the very new guy. I'm not like 100% good Muslim. I want to be,
Yeah.
right? I want to be,
Sure.
and I want to practice everything that was taught. But of course, we are getting better and better and better, and just learning and adopting, believing more, and a lot of like positive things are happening. This is like and this is another positive thing that you and me, we are sitting here and we are talking about this stuff. This is already positive
Yeah.
happening, right?
Massive.
So yeah, so that actually made me interested, indulging into this conversation, leaving the connections and everything, and talking specifically about this topic.
And man, like to you asked there a few minutes ago, like, was it just the spiritual side that kind of shifted everything? And I would definitely make it the focal point, but it's because of everything that changed with it, right? My
Mm.
perspective on life was shifting. It wasn't just doing it for myself, it was doing it for a higher reason, a higher power. And I'm a big believer that if you only work this life just to serve yourself, like that, there's diminishing returns on that. But if you're serving for a bigger reason, um, man, you're just like my favorite people to work with. And like, no offense to you if you're not any religious, I don't mind. You do you, right? But like when I'm talking to my Christian brothers, when I'm talking to my Muslim brothers, when I'm talking to people that are believers of a true higher power,
Yeah.
they have more conviction. They have they have a moral compass that's guiding them, and they act with authority.
Hmm. Yeah.
The
By
ones that
just
I
knowing
see being
like they're not
snakes,
alone, right?
and the ones that I see being snakes are the ones that aren't accountable to anything.
Hmm. That's I second that. I second that. That's right. 100%. Man, this is going deep. And what I believe is like when we start connecting more, we feel like things are actually happening automatically. We are getting more focused toward our health. We are getting more focused toward the business. We are getting more focused towards the kids and relationship and like your girlfriend or wife. You know what I mean? I mean, you get more better, better, and better. And this is the beauty actually. But of course, there are people who are listening and it won't make sense to them maybe. But if you talk about you, me, and the people who actually believe it's true, I think this is only truth. This is the only truth. Everything else in the world is a lie, and this is truth. And truth is, and even in sales, Michael Dunleavy, he says like know the truth, right?
Mm.
Extract the truth first. So that's like even if you are practicing and even if you're believing on the spiritual side of the world, You are more selling ethically. You know the principles. You're more authoritative, right? You believe in integrity of the business owner you're working with, of or the clients you're helping, the product or service you're promoting and scaling and helping with, right? And the money you're making out of it is even even more better for you to make and make your living, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, look, at the end of the day, right? And it's funny. I I didn't even recognize it before I recognized it. You know, it's an internal like, oh, why do I prefer to work with some people than others? And then
Mm.
end of last year, I started to label it and put a label on. I was like, ah, the ones that I prefer to work with have a strong moral compass. They believe in a higher power and they follow a set of moral rules and laws within themselves. And
Okay. Okay.
that was huge identifying that for me because
Yeah.
it almost set the parameters now for the people that I do business with and how
Yeah.
I work because I know who I like to work with and I know who I'm like not really bothered to, right? And it
Mm.
doesn't mean like just because someone isn't a Christian or a Muslim that I won't talk to them or I
Mm.
won't have like business with them. But it's like if I'm like gonna go on and I'm on the verge where I'm deciding like, do I work with this person or do I not? It's definitely a considering factor these days.
Mm. Yeah, I agree. I don't have to say anything on this. Like, this is 100% truth. Don't have to say anything at all. And again, that comes to even the logical and physical and even like any kind of practice thing as well. Like you achieve what you believe, right? And if you
Mm,
believe, you put the more efforts in and stuff in, and again, it's yeah, I love it, man. I love this conversation and I love everything that we are talking about. So yeah, I believe, I trust, and all you need is just to sell better. You need more trust, you need more belief, you need more certainty, right? You need more authority, you need persistence, you need consistency in the right direction. And if you like reflected to your any side, spiritual or universe or I don't know, whatever, that comes down to like the same things. So that's why I love sales. Like you remember like there were new programs coming, Ayman Gadzi, and some other guys were bringing in like some closer and setter programs. Where those people are, they're like back in the days, there were a lot of comma club winners, right? A lot of comma club winners. Every other
mm,
person was a comma club winner by Funnel Hack. Where are most of them? Only the real ones are here after like 2, 3 years,
mm,
right? Only the real ones are here. The only those who are here to play the game for a longer time, right? Only the real G's are here. And I'm actually blessed to know those people I work with, and they're in my network, like you, me, and some other people who have been consistent and working with people who had like some principles, some standards, some core values, and they were not here to make just like a quick buck, you know what I mean? And
mm.
they, and of course, I mean, I love it. Like, man, I don't have anything else to say about it for the long-term game
Well, I appreciate
players.
you having me here, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, Liam, it was like amazing talking to you, man. We may do that again as well, or if it's on demand. But this is like
For
one
sure.
of the best conversation that we spoke about a little bit. Networking, we spoke about sales, we spoke about like the energy side of the business and the world and the life and God and like spirituality. We talk like good stuff. How do you feel about it, by the way?
I feel good, man. Like I it's we spoke truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff, and I guess my last bit, because just tying back to your very first question, which was networking,
Hmm.
be genuine, be honest, jump on a call and be real. Don't try and put up a front. Don't
Yeah.
try to make it your situation sound better than it is. Just
Yeah.
speak it how it is and let people know your heart's desire. You want to get close with someone, tell them the shit that you haven't told anyone else and
Yeah.
that you're scared to tell yourself.
Yeah.
That will build a faster and deeper connection than anything else you could ever know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's something that's a golden nugget. That's a golden nugget right there. Hey man, thank you very much for hopping on today. And it was amazing, amazing, amazing conversation. We may do it again.
Of course, man. Appreciate being here.